Come on, relax your mind. Kick back and just unwind. Don't let this moment overcome you, cause you need this vibe. Music, it takes me there, places where I don't care. I'm overflowing in this motion, you can't help but stare. Flowing like up and down, spinning around and round. Back up and touch the ground I'm making, but I can't sit down. Moving from side to side, feel good cause I'm alive. Don't you feel jealous, just get up and help me feel this vibe.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your main man, Mr. Council, back with another one. Saturday Motivation. You know how we do. I chose Saturday because Saturday is the day that's uniquely your own. Most people work a 9 to 5, so by the time they get to Saturday, they feel it's necessary to take their foot off the gas. But most artists, creatives, and business minds know that Saturday is the day to put your foot on the gas and handle your business. I'm excited. We're back again, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe that we're so far into this. I think this is like episode 55. I never thought I'd be here a year ago. It's just amazing to be with you guys consistently. This is really, truly therapy for me. It puts me in a different space because it allows me to not only connect with you, but to connect with the Most High, because I feel that He speaks through me. Today's a difficult topic. I'm going to tread lightly with this one because I don't want to be the shock jock kind of guy. I respect those guys because the boldness that they have, the freedom that they have to just say what they want online is just amazing. But that could also get you in trouble. And I always like to be measured when I speak because I'm not here to disrespect anyone, to try to call anybody out, to troll anybody. That's not my mission. My mission is to try to help people, inspire people, motivate people, because it's always been somebody there to do that for me. Today's topic is a little sensitive, but I want to delve into it anyway. It's been on my mind all week. I kind of let my ideas just fester, and I kind of put my words in the hands of God, and I just allow Him to lead me through these. So just walk with me for a few minutes. I want to touch on a topic today, and I want to touch a different angle, because a lot of times when people come on here and they give you advice, they really don't give you any steps to really formulate the things that they're talking about. There's just a lot of fluff. And I want to be more measured in the things that I say to you, because I want to be able to give you something that you can take away from this. I don't want to just be here talking every week and you walk away and it's just an inspiring speech and you can't have anything to take away from it. So that's what I really want to focus more on this year, is giving you things that you can really try in your life just to test what I'm saying, because I don't want to be somebody just running my mouth on YouTube. I really want to make a difference. Is your soul for sale? Is your soul for sale? I've been trying to do my thing in music for the better part of 20 years. I know I've said this plenty of times. I don't know if a lot of people that's watching this might be new, but I've been trying to tap into this music game ever since, as long as I've been trying to be a teacher, as long as I've been a teacher. It's about 20 years. And I've seen a lot along my path. And one thing I always said to myself is that I would never sell out. And you can say that, but when certain situations confront you, that's your true test. And I'm a school teacher. I worked hard to get where I am. I would never do anything or put myself in a position to ruin that. And saying this, I'd rather be that the rest of my life than to sell my soul for the music that I'm trying to get out there. I love what I do music-wise. It's the air that I breathe. It's what I was born to do. And I'm so upset that it took me so long to realize that, because I feel like I could be much farther in the game, but I don't fester in that, because I know that God has a plan for my life. So this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I'm saying all this to say that I would never intentionally sell out for my music, because I just feel like the messages I'm giving in my music is too important. I would never change that for anybody, for the world. And I understand why certain people do it, because some people in this world, they're in desolate situations where they feel like they have no way out. And so often in Hollywood, people who have money, the rich and the famous, you hear these rags to riches stories. And I always wondered why. Because growing up, if you think about it, a lot of the talented people come from the suburb areas because they have better training. They have more money that's put behind them. They have more support a lot of times. And oftentimes in the hood, you have a lot of raw talent, but it's always underdeveloped. And so I'm always wondering why everybody that gets famous, why do they always have a rags to riches story? And one thing I want to say about that is, when you're poor, when you don't have anything, you're desperate, a lot of people are willing to do anything to get out of that situation because it's so bad. And so when I hear these stories, oftentimes people will give their inspiring story, but the way they got there was they had to sell out to get there. And see, that's why you have to watch who you listen to. I listen to a lot of people online talk about their stories and how they made their rise, and they sit back now that they've made it and they try to inspire people. And see, I'm coming from a different place because I haven't made it there yet as far as monetary success, as far as what people would say. So a lot of people might not want to listen to me. And I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. But even if you're listening to other people, you just have to pay attention to who you're listening to, because they will tell you exactly who they are through their words. And I've sat back and I've listened to people for years. And there's certain people I won't listen to anymore because I know that they're going to lead me to a place where I'm going to come up just like they were in a desperate situation. See, a lot of people out there will tell you to jump. When you want to go after your dream, just go out there and just jump, just do it. And I feel like that's foolish. I honestly feel like that's foolish. I think it's the worst thing you could tell somebody, unless they have no other resort. If somebody has no other resort, then go ahead, by all means, jump off a cliff and try to live your dreams. But you have to be measured and you have to be calculated when you're trying to have a lot of monetary success, because, man, it's a lot of horrible people out there trying to get at this money. And a lot of people will do anything to get it. And I'm not one of those types of people. See, if you measure your success just based off money, you've lost already. See, I know I'm successful just because the things I've been able to accomplish in life. I might not be looked upon as successful by the world because I haven't achieved the monetary success that I will ultimately love to have. But I am successful in the things that I've accomplished in my life. And so you have to, first off, stop judging success by money. If you just judge your success by how much money you have, man, you'll probably never get there. And even if you do, you won't really appreciate what you're doing. See, I want to actually make a change through my art. I want to make a change. I don't just want to make money. I want to make a difference. And that's a big difference between a lot of people. A lot of people are just trying to get monetary success. Would I like monetary success? You better believe it. So I'm not sitting here talking about, the downside of money. What I'm saying is I'm just not willing to do anything to get it. And there are a lot of people that are. And see, this is what happens when you jump and you haven't made a calculated move when you're trying to actually get to the next level with your gift. When you jump out there and you just say, hey, I'm going to jump and I'm going to move someplace and I'm going to do this thing. If you have the money and you have the resources, by all means, do that. But if you don't, you're running yourself into a situation where you're going to be desperate. And when you're in a situation you are desperate, you'll do anything to change. And I get it, because nobody wants to live poor. Nobody wants to have nothing. Nobody wants to sleep in their car, sleep in an abandoned building. I get all those things. Nobody wants to live like that, and you don't have to live your dream. But people will encourage you to jump. And there's so many people out there that have jumped that are sleeping under a highway somewhere right now. See, we look at the success stories of the 1% that actually did make it doing it like that, but we don't look at the 99% that failed and fell flat on their face listening to that kind of foolish advice. See, the thing about it is most people that have put themselves in that situation have never worked for anything else. And see, a lot of people, it's a lot of people that say they don't want to have anything to fall back on. I get that kind of thinking. But if you have that in you from when you were young, I get it. But if you're older, you're established, you're into a career already, you can't just jump out there, especially if you have children, you have a family, you have a wife, you have a husband, you have responsibilities. You can't just toss everything to the side because all of a sudden you decide you want to jump and go after your dreams. You have to make calculated decisions. You can't just jump. You could be in debt. You could have kids. You can have situations going on in your life that you just can't ignore just to jump out there for your dream. So if you're going to do it, but just do it in a measured and calculated way. Don't listen to somebody who's just going to tell you to jump off a cliff. Because once you jump off that cliff, it's going to get rough and it's going to get hard. And most people don't like life when it gets rough. Most people can't handle life when it gets rough, if they're honest with themselves. And so the first situation that comes to you, the first person that comes to you offering you something, you'll probably take it because you're tired of sleeping on a friend's couch or in an abandoned building or in your car. And you'll just jump at the first offer that they give you. Somebody throws some money in your face and you're willing to take it because you at a point where you lost your integrity. Because now you're in survival mode. And that's why so many of these people have made it, but they cheated. Because even though they jumped out there, they ended up selling out to get themselves out of their desolate and desperate situation. And I don't ever want to put myself in that situation. I hope you don't either. Now, if you're already there, hey, do your thing. But see, one thing is we don't prepare ourselves in life for life coming up. We just live, and a lot of us just waste time. I always listen. I knew growing up, everybody said you got to go to college, you got to do certain things, and I listened to those things because if all these adults are saying the same thing and you're not listening, it's something wrong with you. So I ended up going to college. I ended up trying and getting into a career and a profession, and then I discovered a different gift in the midst of that. And see, my problem is, I think why it's taken me so long is because I avoided my gift for so long. I knew I had a gift when I was younger, but I ran away from it. And so now I'm fighting so hard now to get it back. And that's why it's taken me a long time. But I would never put myself in a situation where I would have nothing, so I wouldn't be so desperate that I would need to take something to get out of the desolate situation that I'm in. And that's my whole point. Don't back yourself into a corner. I think it was the great Bill Withers. He said there's a lot of people out there that'll tell you to jump and this and that. He said, don't do that for this music. He said it's not worth it. And that man has written some of the most incredible songs that you ever want to hear. And has had a lot of success in the music game. But you can't just jump and think that things are going to turn out all right, because 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, they probably will not. So you have to put in a lot of work. So let me give you some things to avoid trying to just jump off a cliff. All right. First off, you have to make calculated decisions. Once you figured out your goal and what you want to do, it's got to be calculated. You can't just jump off a cliff and run out there and do it. If you're going to move, decide what city that you need to move to. Make sure that you're going to be able to afford a living situation, and you have some backup out there, some family, some friends out there, some support that you're going to be able to rely on, so you just don't have to get yourself into a desperate situation to where you take anything to get out of it, because to me, that's not success. You just living for another master now. because you've put yourself in a situation that you cannot be independent. You're dependent on somebody else's dollar. And so you have to do anything that they tell you to do. And then you sign the wrong kind of contract, and your life is turned around. You don't even have your life anymore. You don't own your name. You don't own anything, because the contract that you signed to get yourself out of your desperate situation has put you in a situation that's so horrible that you won't even realize until it's too late. So you have to be measured in your thinking. You have to, first off, once you figured out what your purpose is, you have to study your craft. You have to study your craft. And not only study it, but you have to become the best version of you doing that. I'm not saying you always have to be the best, because to each his own. Just like we talk about top 5 in music, top 5 in basketball and sports, things like that. That's just a conversation that's never going to end, because everybody has a different opinion. So you have to become the best version of you. Don't worry about competing with other people. Compete with yourself. See, when I compete in this music game, I'm always trying to top myself. I'm not thinking about anybody else when I'm creating my music. I'm thinking about, is this track better than the last one that I made? Does it offer something different? Does it take me to a new place mentally? That's the types of things that I'm thinking about when I'm creating my music. I'm not comparing myself to other people, because I'm in my own lane and I understand that. So you have to study your craft, and you have to become the best version of you doing that. And then after you've done that, you got to put yourself out there. You have to put yourself out there. Whatever it is you do, if you sing, you dance, you draw, you do business, you cook, it doesn't matter what it is, you have to put yourself out there, because people are the ultimate judge of how you're going to be determined. Your success is going to be determined later. If you cook the best fried chicken, man, you could love your fried chicken, but does the world love your fried chicken? Do the people in your community love your fried chicken? You could think you can sing, but do the people enjoy it? Do you get a great response when you get off the stage? You know what I'm saying? Do you work well with numbers? Okay? Can people trust you with their money? You have to become the best at what you do, the best version of you at what you do. So you got to study your craft. You have to become the best at what you do. You have to put yourself out there, and then you have to make calculated moves. Don't just jump off a cliff. Be calculated and measured in the things that you want to do. And see, that requires patience. And see, most people don't know how to exercise patience. I paid for patience years ago, and God put me through a series of obstacles that were going to test my patience. He didn't just give me patience. He gave me obstacles that gave me an opportunity to be patient. That's how that works. All right? Now, see, there's a lot of people out there that just tell you to jump out there, and then you jump out there and you lose everything, so you're willing to do anything to get back to a stable environment. But that's not how you're supposed to do things. You're supposed to study your craft. You're supposed to become the best version of you at your craft. Then you're supposed to put yourself out there and make calculated moves to get yourself to the next level. And then you have to trust God. You have to trust God's timing. And that's the biggest difference that people don't want to see. They don't trust God's timing. See, just because somebody comes up to you offering you something early doesn't mean that you have to accept it. But if you're in a situation where you jumped and you have nothing, 9 times out of 10, you'll probably take that bad deal, because you have nothing else. So please pay attention to who you're listening to and what they're telling you to do. Are they giving you some real instructions? Is jump an instruction? Just jump. Jump how? Just go do what? Get myself to a position where I have no job and I have no money and I have nothing but this. So the first thing that comes along I have to take, so I have to survive. You don't want to put yourself in that situation. That's foolish. You might have to work a 9 to 5 while you're trying to work on your dream. You have to work twice as hard in that regard. But see, the people that haven't done that, they don't really want to work for their success. They just want to put themselves in a desperate situation, so when they get an opportunity, they just jump on it. get themselves into a bad contract, but they lie to the people around them just to make it seem like their situation is better than what it is. How many people do you know like that? They just lie to themselves, lie to the world to try to put on this front to make it seem like their life is better than what it is. I don't want to live like that. I don't even want to have to worry about proving to anybody how I'm living or why I'm living the way I'm living. It's none of your business. So understand, you don't have to just throw yourself off a cliff to live your dreams. You have to make calculated moves. And that might require you working twice as hard, you having 2 jobs, just so you can have the time at night to go to the club and perform, or to stay up late studying so you can get that degree. It's a number of things that you could do without having to throw yourself off a cliff just to try to live your dreams. Because that's not what God wants you to do. That's what man is telling you to do. So you put yourself in a dummy situation. So when some kind of thief in the night comes to you, you say yes because you have nothing else and you have no other choices. People that tell you they've been sleeping in abandoned buildings, sleeping in their cars, all kinds of nonsense. They put themselves in that situation half the time. God didn't put them in that situation. They made a choice to be in that situation. Now, if you have nothing, you lost your family, you lost your money, you lost everything, I get it. But if you put yourself in that situation and now you're desperate, that's your own doing. It's because you didn't want to work twice as hard and trust God's timing for your dream to come true. I turned my back on my gift, so it's taken me a long time to earn it back. And if it takes me the rest of my life, it takes me the rest of my life. But there's nowhere in the world I want to sell out to be able to sing some music for people, share my songs with people. I want to be able to look myself in the mirror and comfortably sleep at night. I don't want to have to worry about is my integrity still intact? And if you don't think about that, you don't care about that, you're not the type of person I want to be around anyway. So please understand, I know I'm a little bit long-winded today, but I got a lot to say on this. So I'm going to take my time. So understand, before you get to that situation where you feel like you just have to jump off a cliff, think about it. Are you willing to sell your soul for your dream? I'm not. I'm sorry. I like my soul. I like who I am. I have a full-time job. And I love what I do, but I have a calling. It's burning inside of me, so I know it's something else I'm supposed to be doing. But right now, until I can make a calculated move to take that next step, I have to continue to work on my craft, become the best at what I do, and that's what I'm doing. I'm becoming the best at what I do. I'm continuously putting myself out there. So you may not want to listen to me because I don't have the monetary success that a lot of people are looking for, but I know I'm happy. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a happy person. And if money's the only thing that's going to make you happy, then hey, you don't have life figured out. So if you want to be successful, become the best version of you at what you do. Put yourself out there, but understand that you have to work twice as hard in the meantime to be able to support yourself until you can live off of your dream. You don't just jump out there foolishly so you end up with nothing, and then the first thing that comes along you have to accept. So you're in a situation now where you're just focused on surviving and you're not focused on, should I be doing this? How does this make me look? How does it make my family look? How does it make my community look? Am I uplifting people or am I dragging people down to the gutter with me by just telling them to do any and everything? So please watch who you listen to out here. That's why I'm always trying to give you some information, some steps that you can test in life so you don't just have to trust my word. Because I understand that that's a difficult thing to do with somebody that you don't know online. But I would never tell anybody to just go out there and jump to live their dream, especially if they don't have a real plan and any money or something to help them go along with it. Because I'm going to tell you this, doing this music, costs a whole lot of money. And if I didn't have my day job, I would not be able to pay for the things that I'm paying for. I'd have to look for somebody to pay for those things. And in looking for somebody to pay for those things, that person automatically is going to want to take advantage of me because they're spending their money. They're making an investment in me. So if things don't work out, they can't just walk away and just wipe their hands clean. They're going to get the return on their investment. So you have to be careful with the moves that you make in this world. Because if you put yourself in a situation where you're so desperate that you'll do anything, man, I don't even want to see that side of myself. I never want to meet that version of myself. So if I can motivate you today, live out your dreams. Just do it in a calculated and measured way. Work a job, 2 jobs, 3 jobs to be able to fund whatever it is you're trying to do. You're trying to open a business. You might have to clean up your credit so you can get a business loan. That's fine. You want to do art. You want to paint. You want to draw. You want to sing. You want to dance. You want to play a sport. Do those things. Practice. Become the best that you can be at that. But don't put yourself in a situation where you thrust yourself off a cliff and you have no choice but to take whatever's offered to you because you have nothing else. I don't want my people living like that, because in the end, that's not going to give you success. That's not going to give you the happiness that you're searching for. You see how many rich people out here that are living, I don't even want to know the kind of things that they have to do to live the life that they act like they're living. It's not worth that to me. It might be worth that to you, and if it is, to each his own. But make calculated decisions. Become the best version of you at what you do. But ultimately, you have to trust God's timing. So yes, you have to put yourself out there, but that doesn't mean jumping off a cliff. If you're trying to be a singer, go to every open mic that you can go to. Get on every stage that you can get on just so you can showcase your talent. Get your money together so you can put together some music videos and some good recordings so people can see what you can do. But don't put yourself in a situation where you are so desperate that you just have to take anything, the first thing that you're offering, because you're tired of suffering, because you can't survive. That's my message for today. Because I'm sorry, it's too many people out here that's just throwing their life away. It's like a lottery ticket. Jumping off a cliff with your dream is like a lottery ticket. And if that ticket doesn't cash in, imagine what you're going to have to do just to survive. I don't want to be there, and I hope you don't either. I'm going to leave the description to my album. We're really going to get into some teaching this year. I don't want to just be up here motivating. I really want to give you some things that you can try out in the world so you can understand that I know what I'm talking about when I'm speaking in this space. And anything that I'm saying, I'm being used as a vessel. So I know a lot of people might not understand why I know what I'm talking about, but I know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to keep on talking my talk every Saturday for those people who want to listen. I know this one ran kind of long. This is probably my longest video yet. I know half of y'all probably didn't even make it this far, but if you did, I appreciate you. Make sure you get to the album Better Man Chronicles. I'm leaving the link to the in the description. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Keep rocking with your boy. Every Saturday, we're going to be here, Saturday Motivation. I appreciate y'all, and I love every one of y'all for continuing to listen to me. That's my time. Peace to all my people.
The sun came up, I'm waking up, freshen up for my day. I felt like something might be nothing touched my soul this day. Took off riding, felt like vibing to some Marvin Gaye. Somehow excited, can't describe it, how I felt that day. Now that nothing became something, cause she walked my way. My eyes got bigger cause her figure let me know no games. The way her motion got me open, man, I can't explain. Am I supposed to cold approach you or just play it safe? She drives me crazy, oh that lady, she's got what I want. I said, baby, boy, you crazy if you don't pull up. The time for maybe, cause then maybe she's not what you want. But if you say